Mac, thank you, and welcome to Joy FM.
Thank you so much. I feel very welcomed, Kim.
Well, good.
Yeah.
I'm a longtime fan of you and of your previous band, Third Day.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to maybe talk about that a little bit.
Okay, great. Yeah.
And I remember in the 90s, I was working at a Christian bookstore, and we used to have a poster on the wall that would say, if you like this artist, somebody mainstream, then you'll like the Christian
Christian version
yeah,
of it.
the version of that.
Yeah.
So I remember when you guys came on the scene, and it was like, if you like Hootie and the Blowfish, then you'll
Yeah.
love Third Day.
Yeah.
And I was so excited to be able to share you guys with people because it was just something new that I hadn't really heard in Christian music before, what you guys were doing.
Yeah. We were very fortunate. We came along in a day where the labels were trying something new, and they would let some new kind of stuff be on the air and be recorded. And so I think if we'd come along a little bit before that, it would have been a lot harder for us. And I tell people all the time, if we were coming out now, I don't know if we would have the success that we had back then. It was really a lot of it was about the timing of it, and being fortunate enough to come in where people were ready to have some new sounds on Christian radio and on their records. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I remember reading that, like 1 year early on you did like 40 shows, and then the next year you did like 110. Like it was just this massive uptick in being on the road, and I'm sure that was challenging for you and for your families as well.
Every time this bell rings, that's someone else liking this video. Wait on you. You make the bell ring. Go ahead.
Yeah, definitely. We all, in Third Day, we all started getting married. We all got married within a 2-year period.
Oh, cool.
If somebody got married, somebody else was getting married a few months later.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it just went on. And my wife and I, we had dated in high school. We were high school sweethearts. Then we broke up for a couple of years. And then as soon as we got back together, we knew, all right, we're going to be together forever. So
that's cool.
We got engaged and married in July of 96. And we went on our honeymoon for about a week, and I came home to start the tour. And for the next 3.5 to 4 months, I was home, I think, 6 days.
Wow.
So, yeah, it wasn't necessarily what she signed up for. It was very different. And then as things went along and everybody got married, we said, okay, like 2 weeks will be the longest, so we're gone.
Yeah.
And then after everybody starts having a kid or two, then the 2 weeks becomes 10 days. 10 days is the max. Then a year later, that turns into a week, 7 days, and then 5 days. Now I'm allowed to be gone for 8 hours at the time.
We've got you just enough time.
Right.
Speaking of kids, I hear you have a daughter that just got married.
Yeah, Scout, who she's 23. She got married at the end of September, and she actually plays bass guitar for me when I'm doing band gigs.
That's awesome.
And so, her husband plays drums for me, so we got a little family band. So last summer, she played bass. Alec, her husband, played drums. My oldest son, Cash, who's 21 now, was playing guitar for me at the time. His last show was around when she got married, around, I guess, August or September of last year. So I miss him being out on the road with us. But, yeah, it's a little family band.
So as a dad, like, what does that do to your dad heart to have your kids with you?
Absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. In fact, one of the producers we were all out to lunch yesterday in Atlanta at home, and we ran into this famous producer who did a record of ours way back in the day, and his name is Brendan O'Brien. And Brendan's done like everything from Stone Temple Pilots to the Black Crowes to Pearl Jam to Bruce Springsteen, all this big rock stuff, right?
Yeah.
And Third Day.
Yeah.
And I ran into him, I hadn't seen him in years, and I introduced him to Scout because I said, Scout, you got to meet this guy. And I said, Scout plays bass for me. And he said, oh, you must be really good. And she's like, I'm okay. And I said, she's really good. And I can't tell you how amazing it is to have her out on the road with me and her husband as well.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah. That, sidebar, I don't know if you saw, is it Jason from Building 429? His daughter was on American Idol.
No, I didn't know that.
And he was playing for her audition.
No way.
And by the end of it, he was just like a dripping mess.
Oh,
I mean, there's just something about, I'm
Yeah.
sure dads and daughters too, that is just, it's already a special bond, but then to be on the road and share music together.
Mm-hmm. And, she's been singing with me since she was a little kid, at home. And then every once in a while she'd come out to a show and sing a song with me. But now to be out on the road, and I remember one of my favorite memories from Scout being little as she was about 2 years old, and we were I had like kind of a small studio in like a guest bedroom. And so I had a studio or I had a microphone set up, and I was playing through God of Wonders when it first came out. And so I'm playing through it on my acoustic, and she's singing along. She's going up to the microphone. She's standing up on her tiptoes, and she's singing, "Ho wee, ho wee." And so now at 23, I look over to my left and see her playing bass, singing background.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping that she's not singing, "Ho wee, ho wee."
That's one of those good wedding stories.
Yes,
you tell at her wedding.
Yeah, totally.
Well, that's really fun. What an honor to get to do that with your kids.
So
and
much.
is your wife also a part of what goes on with your musical family? Or
Well, she's a great musician herself. She plays a little bit of piano, and she's a great singer. But she kind of stays away from that side of things. She's a little bit more in the management team now, not officially, but unofficially. I tell people with Third Day, people ask all the time questions about Third Day, and they say, what's the difference in being a band and not being a band? I said, well, the great thing about being in a band is you've got 3 or 4 other guys that are there to help you make decisions. And the bad thing about being a band is you got 3 or 4 other guys there to help you make decisions.
Yeah.
And so now I have Amy is kind of, I'm able to kind of bring her in a lot more. And so whenever I get an offer to do a concert or go somewhere or whatever, I'll either show it to her from my phone or copy and paste and send it to her, and she approves everything with me.
That's good.
And we talk about it. So we weren't able to do that in the past because you've already got enough guys who are voting yes or no.
Right.
And now I'm able to include my family a little bit more in those
you've got their livelihood attached to that too, where it's, hey, if you like this snippet with Mac Powell, you'll love the full interview.
Just be sure to click right here. We'll send you on over to the full interview.